Alrighty, Pondo. So today we have our 5th episode of the Pondo Cast. I'm Isaac Chapman alongside with...
I'm Dean Barber.
And if you guys want to introduce yourselves over there, go ahead.
I'm Jackson Cockrell.
I'm Emely Mancilla.
Go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourselves to start off, because obviously there's going to be people who don't know you guys. Tell us a little bit about yourselves.
You want me to go?
Yeah.
So I'm a junior at Pondo, and I'm in the leadership class. It's something that I really love. It's one of my passions. And I also play basketball here. There's a lot of things like I love, but really leadership has gotten me like intertwined with the whole campus, and I'm really appreciative for that. So that's it.
I'm Emely. I'm also a junior at Pondo. I don't really go here anymore. I'm all online because of everything. But other than school, my passion is dance. If I'm not with Jackson or friends, I'm usually at the studio. It's definitely something that's helped me a lot through absolutely everything. So yeah.
Go ahead and tell me how you guys started dating.
I mean, we met last year in our weights class, and also you were taking photos for basketball when I was playing. And so it started off as just like, we would see each other around and maybe wave, and then it really just started slowly building of talking more. And then started dating.
I remember we were hanging out at a basketball game, and my parents picked me up, and I was like, I was hanging out with some new people. One of their names is Jackson Cockrell, and he's like, ask him what his dad's name is. And he goes, my dad's name is Tim Cockrell. And he's like, that was my pastor when I was a kid. So my dad and his dad knew each other when they were younger. And then recently we found out that my aunt and his aunt were roommates when they were younger too.
What?
And then freshman year, before we met, his sister was my link crew leader. Damn. And knew my cousin. So it's like a whole bunch of little connections that just like...
She has like a huge family, so there's like a bunch of connections. Like her grandma used to live on the street that I live on now. And it's just, there's so many things that like we're discovering.
Yeah, that's scary, bro. But that's actually really cool. Like at the same time, like even through your relationship, you're learning even more things about each other and who you guys know. So that's pretty funny.
Yeah, and so we'll go ahead and get into the main topic of why we're all here today. Obviously, this week is Pennies for Patients, which is we donate to the Lymphoma Society, yes. Right? Lymphoma Society, which is obviously personal to you, and I'll let you go ahead and explain why.
Do you just want me to like kind of how?
Just go over it, and
Okay.
If you want to, you could just start from like when the beginning of you being diagnosed, whatever you want to talk about and you're okay with.
Okay, so beginning goes all the way back to the last day of finals. I have a scar right here. There was a huge lump on my neck, and I noticed it because I couldn't breathe when I was like going down to answer questions on my paper. And so I went home and talked to my mom. I was showing you, and the next day we went to the doctors, and she was like, it just looks like a cyst. It doesn't seem like it would be anything concerning, but we'll order tests and do all this stuff. So on the 23rd of December, I got an ultrasound, and everything seemed fine, so we went home, and they called us back, and they're like, you need to come back, and you need to do a chest x-ray. And we came back and did that. I went back home, and they called us, and they go, you need to go to the ER. So it was like a whole bunch of trips, and it was kind of concerning. But before they did that, my mom comes down, and she's like, they're thinking it's lymphoma, and I had no idea what that is. I'm like, that sounds fine. And I look it up, and the first word is cancer. Like, that's all I see, and I'm like freaking out. I'm like, that can't be happening. So it was really quick. We celebrated Christmas Eve. Our family opened our presents like right before I left, and we went down. On the 23rd, I got admitted, and I was there for about 10 days.
Like 10 days in a row at the hospital?
Yeah, I couldn't go home. I was on the same floor. I wasn't allowed to leave, no visitors. But luckily there was a window, and so they would come and like stand outside the window and wave.
That's sweet.
Yeah, it was really nice, but it was really a lot. happened really fast.
Yeah, I'm sure that's like, I mean, I can't even relate to that really, but being diagnosed and like you said, you heard about it and you weren't sure if it was something serious, and then you Google it, you're like, whoa, it's cancer. And that's really heavy, but one thing about that is with modern medicine and everything, and you're a strong person and you will get better. But what I was gonna say also was when I first met you was actually in I met you in like middle school, but when we first started talking was like 8th grade, and I remember I forgot if it was in English or
It was English.
It was English, and we had a play, and I was the mom, and Emily was one of the daughters, and it was really crazy to hear, like someone that I actually knew that I was actually like pretty good friends with at the time got diagnosed with cancer, and I was like, that's sad. Like I almost teared up when I heard that. So I hope you are feeling better though.
Yeah.
That's cool that you're able to come on today. Jackson, is there anything you want to say about it, because you were there like since the beginning pretty much?
Yeah, so we started dating before like all this happened. We didn't even know about any of this. And so something that's crazy is just how young you are, and like you never expect this when you're young. You can expect like, I know I'm gonna have like something hard in my life, I might go through something, but you don't expect it to come during high school. Like high school is like the time where you're trying to like live it up and have fun, and just it sucks that you can't, like, especially even though with COVID now, like you were stuck to the hospital room, and all there could be there was like your parent, only one, not even both, and that you couldn't see anybody for a really long time. And then it knocked out all the major holidays too. Christmas and New Year's you were gone for, which sucks.
But it seems like things are starting to get a little bit better for you. Obviously, you're not in the hospital anymore.
Yeah.
You're able to be here with us. If you don't mind talking about how's like treatment going for it.
It's going pretty good. I had a scan to see if the chemo is working, and it is. So the tumor on my chest is shrinking. It's kind of starting to like get smaller, and so that's good. My last treatment is on June 3rd, which is nice because it's like right before summer. Maybe I can have a normal summer, but yeah, it's going pretty good.
You've 12 treatments over how many months?
6.
So it's once every 2 weeks.
Every other Thursday I get treatment, and it's not fun, but I don't know, it's worth it because it's doing something.
It's fun. I'm glad that it's 2 weeks instead of a lot of people have 1 week in between each treatment. And so having 2 weeks, she's literally wiped out for like 3 days, sleeping all day long. And then like she can come back and start to do stuff. And then after like a week or so, you're starting to feel a little bit better, and you can go out and do stuff like this.
And after every treatment, the day after, I have to get a shot my mom gives to me. And it like goes into your bone marrow, and it makes your bones ache. And it feels like you can just feel, I don't know, it's like walking is hard. I know, like, I don't know, I have to sit down a lot, but yeah.
What I was gonna also say about the treatments, like Jackson was saying, was my aunt, she actually had brain cancer, and she had it every week, and she would be absolutely pooped for like you said, 3 to 4 days. Like that, and when she was diagnosed, she was like 36, I believe. So like a lot older, like 20 years older than you. And so she would be pooped for sometimes for like into her next chemo treatment. So there would be like 2 to 3 months at a time where she would just be dead. Like she had no time to just like revive. So that's cool that you get like at least probably a full week of just like being able to chill out a bit more from the treatment. So that's good.
Before we move into our next segment, is there anything else that you guys want to talk about this situation?
I'm not sure. What do you want to talk about? You can talk about like the loss of hair and stuff and how that's like affected.
Oh yeah.
How's that going?
That's probably one of the biggest things for me. I don't know, just like seeing online like everybody still having their hair, it's just like it makes you lose confidence. And I know it doesn't like really matter that much, but it was just like a really big step. But I know it's gonna come back. I don't know. That was definitely a major, really hard.
For your hair loss, did you lose it like pretty quick after your first chemo treatment, or did it fall out portionally?
It took a couple weeks, and eventually it just started like your hair would be everywhere. Like when you wake up on your pillow or brushing your hair, like a huge chunk in your hairbrush. And eventually just got to where I was like, I just need to cut it off. Because it was harder to see it like that than to
Just have it all gone.
Yeah.
To have it all gone. Yeah, I understand. I'm sure, like, especially as a girl, that, like you said, was very hard for you. But I mean, it will grow back.
Yeah.
The confidence from the hair will come back. So that's good.
In a world that's like pushed with insecurities and stuff, like you're a teenage girl in high school. A lot of teenage girls are already insecure, and so having to lose something like that is really difficult. But like, I'm proud of you. You're doing really good because you're still really pretty.
Thanks.
What a guy. Well, I think that'll pretty much sum it up for that. But for every guest, we actually ask, and I'll take one from both of you, just a piece of advice that you have for life. It could be in education, it could be in anything. It's your choice.
For me, it's definitely the basic don't take life for granted. I know the day I got admitted to the hospital, in between like the calls to come back, I was at the store buying cookies like with my brother because he's younger. You know, we're gonna make them for Santa Claus. And the next thing I know, I'm in a hospital bed and like I can't go home. So really anything can happen. And I know people here don't take life for granted a lot, but really you can't, because I don't know, life can throw anything at you.
I think mine has to do a lot with high school, and everything in general is just get involved. There's something about like being in leadership and having friends that like now I'm connected, and like when I'm going through something like this, now I can have friends that are there for me and to talk through things. And like getting involved with leadership was really good for me. My freshman year, I didn't have many friends, didn't talk to many people. Sophomore year, I joined leadership, and I felt like I found my place. Now, I'm not saying join leadership, but I'm saying find your place in like school and in life too. Like you have to find your people, because if you're like isolated from everybody else, you're not going to get very far.
Yeah, to that point, it's getting that good group of friends, even if it's just two people, one person, you get that kind of support system that you'll need in a hard time. So that's super important, especially in high school, because anything in high school is just super hard. That's just like, that's just how high school is. Sometimes it kind of sucks. So it's good to have good friends.
Also, I want to like add on to that. With getting involved, I would say that's really big, because like in middle school, I wasn't a good kid, and I didn't like doing my schoolwork. Like I was annoying. I was a class clown in every class. I still talk in class, if I'm gonna be honest with you guys, but like I needed to be just the center of attention because I didn't have friends. Once I got to high school, like I figured out, I feel like once you get to this age, you kind of start to like see the trueness in people. You see the true colors starting to show, and you'll find out who your fake and real friends are like really fast. Freshman year went from having like probably like 30 friends. Sophomore year had like 2. And I'm fine with it. I'm completely okay with that. Like you don't need 45 friends to be happy, because would you rather have 2 real friends or like 100 fake ones? It's your choice.